Hey, what's up guys? I'm Andrew Bacon. So this is our old, outdated, not smart, and super loud garage door opener, and I want to replace it with a brand new, smart, connected, and way quieter Chamberlain garage door opener. And so I have to confess, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm gonna go ahead and install this brand new one, and I'm so excited that it worked. Man, this thing is awesome. I'm so glad I took the time to install it, and I can't wait to show you every single thing I learned on this episode of Field Treasure Designs. Oh yeah, check it out. So I ordered my Chamberlain garage door opener from Amazon, and when I went to open it, unfortunately there was no extra padding in there to keep the box from bouncing around, so that was a bummer. And hey, by the way, Chamberlain did not pay me for this review. So after I took it out, I then opened the main box. You can obviously find all the parts for this specific package online in multiple places, but I thought I'd at least unpackage everything and kind of show you exactly what I experienced. So I'm just gonna do a real quick unboxing and kind of show you all the parts, and obviously you'll get to know them throughout the video. But yeah, there's the unit. It's fairly heavy. There's the sensors. It's got lights on both sides. It did have a ding in the bottom, which I thought was interesting, but that's okay. And then at the very bottom of the box are the parts for the rail. So the rail comes in 5 sections there. And yeah, I'll take that apart and then we'll assemble that. So there's everything. I also discovered inside one of the rails a few more parts, so that was a good catch. Next, I unpacked that crazy bag of hardware just to itemize everything and kind of get familiar with all the parts. So here's everything. So next I grabbed the manual to check it out, and I made a cool discovery. There's these things called built intelligent instructions, and there's a QR code to download the app, and I'm telling you, the app is amazing. I've already reviewed it, and it's going to be a huge help. Okay, let's start the project. And the first step is taking off the arm from the door. So I had to tap the little pin on the inside, got it out, and then this happened. So funny. Oh. I hope that was caught. Oh my gosh, I'm so tense right now. It's not that big a deal. All right, got the arm off. Wow. So yeah, you can tell I'm a little tense. It's pretty funny. So next, I go up to the garage door opener and I'm going to unwire some of the connections up there. And then literally it's just 2 1/2 inch bolts that I took off. And I've got my step ladder here ready to catch it when I lower it down. Yeah, the previous installer, for some reason, spliced the power cord, and so I'm undoing that. I'm gonna fix that problem. We're gonna extend my new power cord over to the outlet, so that'll be way safer. So once I got the cord out of the way, I just grabbed 2 ratchets, and I'm going to take them off. They're 1/2 inch bolts, so super easy. And then once I got them undone, I then lower it down and rest it on the step ladder. This feels like the point of no return. Free, and then there you go. Woo. All right, so she's free from the top there. Really, really easy. Now I need to take off the track from the header above the garage door. The 2 safety sensors on both sides of the garage are attached by wires all the way up to the rail along the header there. And so I needed to get them off the wall so that they could be free when I detach the rail arm from the header. The header was also held on by just a 1/2 inch bolt, so I just had a ratchet wrench that I used to loosen it, and it came right off, and then I just gently laid it down. I rested against the spring so that then I can go to the other side and pick it up. Go this way. She's off. Okay, now it's time to put the new unit together. So I start with the track. Once I got the track all assembled, I realized it was super long. And so thankfully I've got a ledge over there and a stack of scrap wood that I can use to hold it up while I work on it. So once I got that in place, I then grabbed a screwdriver and put it through that first hole there. And that was what the instructions told me to do as a stopgap there for a little while. Then I grabbed the trolley and I slid it on to the end, and it stopped at the screwdriver. I then grabbed the end piece and slid it onto the end there, and this will be used to attach it to the garage door opener. I then attached a bolt into the hole there that serves as the emergency stop for the trolley, so it can't go back against the garage door opener. So I tightened that up. Then I grabbed the garage door opener unit and got it in place. And so I untightened the 2 bolts that are already there, and then I'm going to use those bolts to tighten on the rail. Thankfully, I was able to step up the distance of the rail over there on my scrap pile of wood to match the height of the unit. So you can see over there, I'm stacking it up. That's something to keep in mind. I was not prepared for that. And so that really helped a lot, having that arm level or having the rail level so that I could set it onto those 2 bolts, one bolt and then 1 hole, and then I could tighten in as you see here. So I got those tightened up and that thing's attached. Next, I grabbed the belt, took off the tape, and I'm going to run it around the arm. Then I grabbed the pulley and stuck it in place and then attached it with the bolt and the lock washer and nut, and good to go. Next, I bent back the tab with my flathead screwdriver. They instructed me to use just a flathead, but it did not work very well. So I grabbed my electric pliers and made it a 90-degree angle. That serves as the stop for the pulley on the garage side. Here I'm attaching the belt to one side of the pulley, and then I'm going to grab my screwdriver to hold the pulley in place while I wrap the belt around the other side. Here I'm bringing it around, and it's going to go around those teeth on that sprocket there above the garage door opener. And then I wrap it around to then connect it to the other side of the pulley. Next, I remove the spring nut from the threaded shaft there that's going to serve as the connector from the belt to the pulley. I then attached the threaded shaft to the end of the belt there with what they call a master link. And then I just grabbed the cap, put it over it, and then used the little pin to clip it in place and hold it together. This whole thing is held together by this little piece of metal. I placed my threaded shaft through that hole there and then hand tightened the spring nut. Then I followed the directions on releasing the tension of that spring. So it's supposed to be 1.25 inches, and you'll see here it's going to release. Oh, cool. And then it's good to go. It has enough tension, but then I had to tighten it just a little bit to get it to that 1.25 inch length. Next, I attached the sprocket cover to the top with the plastic housing. Pretty simple. Next, I took off the old header mounting bracket and plate to replace it with a new, stronger piece of wood that I can screw in. I'm using some strong lag bolts to hold it in, and then I'm going to be able to measure and mount that new header mounting bracket just right. You saw me just make measurements so I wouldn't forget to drill my pilot holes. Once I got that done, I anchored it down real secure. I then lifted up the garage door. I look super strong here thanks to that chain pulley on there. And basically you're supposed to take the highest measurement of the door where it goes up to, and then I use my level to go across to the header there and make a mark, and then you're supposed to be 2 inches above that line. So I took care of that, made sure I knew exactly where to put my header mounting bracket, and then I screwed it in with those strong lag bolts. Thankfully, my world-class assistant, aka my awesome wife, was home, and she helped me carry it in. And so you do need 2 people to do this, otherwise it'd be really tough. So she held the heavy part while I lifted it up to the header there, and then I just raised it up and attached it with the pin included, and good to go. I was really hoping that the existing mounting brackets would work with the garage door opener, and it looks like, yep, we are good to go. So my awesome wife held it up while I kind of made my adjustments. You definitely will need another person to help you do this. And so after messing around with it, I discovered that I did need to lengthen my brackets just a little bit to allow the garage door opener to sit a little bit lower. You'll see here in a second, it's supposed to be about a 2x4's length above the garage door when it's open. And so I'll show you that here in a second. But yeah, once I got it all done, I then went over, thankfully I had some extra metal lying around, or metal brackets, and I cut those to length, and then I put those up as the new mounting brackets. So here you can see the garage doors open. I've got a 2x4 laying across the top there, and that's the distance you want from the track to your garage door. So I'm installing the new extensions on there. Thankfully, again, my wife is holding it up while I make the final adjustments, and yes, we are in business. Then I slid the 2x4 out. I unpopped the light lenses on each side to give myself access, and then I installed the pull-down cord that allows you to detach the pulley from the track. I then slid it down to the end to get it ready to attach it to the arm. First, I attached the straight arm to the trolley and got that secure. Then I attached the curved arm to the door itself. Thankfully, I was able to use the existing mount bracket, so I didn't have to replace that. Then I attached the curved arm to the straight arm. At first, I thought I was going to have to drill a new hole, and then I realized I could slide the trolley up and down the track a little bit to make it work. And thankfully, I had just enough room, so I didn't have to do any modification on this part. And then I just grabbed my socket wrenches and good to go. Next, I took out the old safety sensor brackets and I installed the new clips, and they make it really easy to install these guys. I grabbed the included bolt and I secured the safety sensor with a butterfly nut. They make it super easy to put these in and adjust them. I then draped the cable up over the door. I'm just gonna kind of loosely put it up in the ceiling. Before I attach it, I wanna make sure everything works perfectly. Okay, for my test run, I'm just gonna strip off the ends here. I know I'm gonna cut off more of the length later, but I just wanna make sure the sensors work. So I'm stripping them off using my wire strippers, and then I'm gonna plug them into the side of the garage door opener. They are super easy to attach. You just press in those tabs with a screwdriver, and there's 4 of them total. 2 of them are for the safety sensors, and then 2 of them are for the switch that's gonna be connected on the wall. I'm using the existing red and white wires that you can see above my hand there that go to the wall, so I didn't have to rerun that wire. Here's a closer look of the wires and the buttons. Back over on the wall near the door, I took off our old button activation switch, and then I am adding the new one here. So I'm just tightening in the existing red and white wires, and then I grabbed a screw and was able just to pop it in. I'm not sure if this is exactly where I'm going to keep it, but we'll keep it here for now. Okay, good to go. Okay, so the light button works great on and off, and then I took off that obnoxiously loud advertisement for the MyQ app there, that sticker. I took that off, which the app is great. We'll review that here in a minute. Before I pressed the garage door button, I checked the manual and thankfully was able to find a little bit more information about how to calibrate the door before you press it. So that is a super important step. Once I had it calibrated, I was able to press the button. Woohoo, it works. Then I press the button to have it go down and good to go. Now you'll notice the garage door opener wobbled really bad. I ended up putting another diagonal cross brace across it up there, and it holds it in place really well. The included remotes already came programmed, so that made it super easy. And then the keypad looks great. I need to go over and take off the old one and then mount this bad boy. I decided to mount the keypad lower so my kids could operate it if needed. Okay, let's see if she works. So I press in the code and then enter. Boom, we're in business. Awesome. Next, I cleaned up those wires from the safety sensors, mounted them to the wall, and ran them back to the unit. And I put that cross brace on to keep it nice and firm, and so we're good to go. Next, I connected it to the internet by pressing the connect button. Now I've got the app on my phone, and it is super easy to use. This thing is awesome. So when you want to open it, you just press the button. And then, of course, when you want to close it, you do the same thing. There is a huge alarm that sounds when you go to close it. So there's a little bit of a delay while the lights flash and the alarm goes off, but I read that it's a pretty big safety feature, so no big deal. And that is it. Well, hey, thanks so much for watching. I hope it was helpful. If you've got any questions, comment them below and I'll do my best to respond. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.